instructor's not telling the truth.
Oh, that's a relief. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to use a liar pants on fire defense.
Hey, what about you?
I fit in better than you. At least I'm wearing cowboy boots.
Must be hard being a king.
How did I do?
There is now a level 2.
You're the best, man. Come on, Benny, man. The kid is a L7 weenie.
The lady who put the BS in BSN. It's Carolyn Sheridan from the Ag Health and Safety Alliance. Time once again to see what we can do to help our family farmers.
It's road trip time. We've got our Carolyn Sheridan on the road. Carolyn, how are you? You got to put the. You say that again. Now you're going out on me as far as the audio goes. How are you?
Oh shoot, we'll see.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay. Yes, we're literally on the road. Jenna Gibbs is with us today.
Yeah, she hates me. I love her. She hates me. She's been on a couple times, and we end up only talking about her powerlifting. Has she state champion yet? National champion yet? Yes. See, I paid attention. Oh, you're not. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, we are road trip. Actually, we're on our way home. We've been road tripping since Sunday. So we came. Our main goal was to get to Mississippi State University, and we did lots of things this week. So we're on our way home. We just crossed back and forth in Arkansas.
You drove to Mississippi State University. No planes there. Why? And why would you force your employees to drive? Oh my God! And with you,
decision, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. We just decided it would be a big trip. I've been on planes a lot lately, Al. I'm tired of planes. And ever driven it? Jenna, this is kind of Jenna's stomping grounds. She's from Missouri. Yeah. So it was real. I really have enjoyed it. So, and we had a lot of stuff to take. We had a lot of stuff I didn't want to ship.
Oh, they would not ship because you don't use UPS or what?
No, we had so many things to do. We did respirator fit test workshop, train the trainer, and then we did some 360 video capture. And then yesterday we trained students at Mississippi State University. So it's like there were so many things. Yeah.
I want to see what kind of boss are you, just out of curiosity. The car you're riding in, is that yours, or you also make your employees drive their own vehicles for these monster trips?
No, this is my car. It's got this it's really sweet red interior.
It does have.
Black. Yeah, but it's black. I said I never own a black car because I'm like on the gravel. My car's always dirty. But I got to tell you, Al, when I'm in this car, I'm happy. Who wouldn't be happy? Look at it.
So do you happen to know what kind of car it is, or do you just call it the black car? Do you know what kind of?
It's a Toyota Highlander, Al.
Okay, fair enough. I just wondered. Okay.
I do know what brand, make, model. Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Fair enough. So you're road tripping. You're coming home. For folks who don't know, Ag Health and Safety Alliance does classes for the most part at universities, colleges, large, I presume, high schools, businesses.
Yeah.
And if even in foreign countries, if they don't understand you, like in Australia, you go to Australia or Canada and you'll do the same class, right?
That's right. Yeah, 7 provinces in Canada. We've been to Denmark and Sweden, but mostly U.S. Canada, mostly U.S. And we've got great partners. And so now what we're really enjoying now is making 360 videos where sometimes kids or people who need to learn about stuff like you, Al.
What?
Like you, Al. Sometimes it's easier if we can kind of try to put people in the situation. We've got a livestock family one, we've got a shop safety, and donning and doffing or putting on and taking off personal protective equipment. So it's like a 360 video, and it's available on our website.
All right, fair enough. Let me ask you this. So you'd put these classes on. They're probably an hour, 2 hours long, 3 hours. How long is the typical class?
Well, we don't like hour classes because we can't get enough yet. We just can't. There's too much to talk about. So what we like is the 2.5 to 3 hour. We're okay with 2. Now at Iowa State, sometimes we get close to 4 hours, don't we, Jen? Yeah.
Okay, so let's say it's a 3 hour class. Compare that to, let's say then will be 6 Al Travis show half hours that we're doing. Is that the amount of stuff you'll cover, one or two things, and then babble on the rest of the time, or do you actually like cover stuff? I'm just wondering.
Well, we have a whole list of topics, and we customize it based on student surveys, pre-surveys, like what kind of farming are you in, and then what's your safety behavior now. And so I would say, Jenna, we minimum of 6 or 8 topics, right, Jenna? Yeah, 6 or 8.
But how do you fill that time if I'm not there sharing like my ladder story? Because I'm presuming when you do ladder safety with these kids, you're sharing the Al Travis story, right? You're using the stories you're stealing from me to give to these kids.
I don't know, Al.
You are.
We have talked about you in our show. We talk about sometimes when you teach, it's hard, but you don't have to be disruptive, but you kind of got to keep it together. If you think you're disruptive, you should teach.
No, I
teach.
I have no want. No, I want no want. Here, I'm going to ask you to take your camera off so we have more bandwidth. You're coming in and out. Just take the camera off. That usually helps out. No, you're okay.
Let's give it a try.
There, that goes much better. You're not, stumping through this. No, I would have no want to teach college kids anything. But if I did, are you asking me what I teach college kids?
Yeah,
I would teach them survival of the fittest. How often when you and I talk, Carolyn, about farm safety, is the dad of the farm or the head of the farmer have to decide which child to put, say, in the grain bin or at risk? And I would explain that to these children so that they understand they must not be on the bottom of the barrel. It ups the ante for everybody. That would be the first thing I teach anybody.
That's just like one of the things I just have to keep saying to people on this live radio show. I'd be like, don't listen to Al. Families on the farm are not like that. Al, just don't listen to. There's a couple things that Al says, like almost every show, that we can take some stock in. But generally, we've got some problems with some things Al's having to say. Generally.
That is not true, because the farming community may not want to say that's how it is in the farm, but the weakest guy's always the one who's going to go out first. It's a common thing. It happens in the animal kingdom everywhere. Farmers know what I'm talking about, even if we aren't allowed to speak it out loud.
I think it's the one that whines the least has to go. And this is like a sort of a personal story. So we grew up on a dairy farm, and I really didn't like going out to milk cows. And so I would go out, and then I go back to the house and say I have to go to the bathroom. And my sister said I had short time diarrhea.
That's funny. There's radio we didn't know was going to come today. Carolyn, I got to go to break. We got stuff to do. We'll come back after this with more Carolyn Sheridan's Ag Health and Safety Alliance.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
Al Travis Show, the last place you can go and hear all sides. Respectful, thoughtful, and grateful.
We've got our Carolyn Sheridan's Ag Health and Safety Alliance literally on the road with Jen. You want to get them to come to your... They'll drive if they have to. I'm serious.
Yeah, we will drive. For sure.
They will drive there if they can fly. AgHealthAndSafetyAlliance.com. Go there, check them out, see if they'll sign up to teach your kids about safety on the farm. Carolyn, got a quick question for you.
Yes.
When I spray like Roundup on the weeds in my driveway, is that the same kind of Roundup you farm people use in the big sprayer when you're going out in the fields? Is that the same stuff? Or do I need to be as concerned at home as you guys are on the farm with, wearing gloves, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it is the same. It is the same product. It may be a different concentration, and you are applying it differently. And that's one of the topics we always talk about, our pesticides and reading the label. So at some point, hopefully before you apply your Roundup on your weeds, you could look at the label and say, oh, should I wear gloves or goggles or maybe a respirator? So I would assume you do that because Al, being the guy that you are.
Okay, there's a couple of problems. Do I grab rubber gloves? Yes. Do I wear a respirator? No, I think my neighbors would make fun of me and take photos and post it online. The other thing with the respirator problem is it's really hard to smoke a cigar when you got a respirator on. I've tried many times. It snuffs them out. It's not a good look.
But you just made a really important point. You
What?
don't need to wear a respirator most likely with Roundup. That's what we say. Read the label because don't overprotect. Don't assume that all of the labels are going to say you need a respirator. So we're really helping people out. If they would just read the label and say, oh, all I need is gloves, long sleeve and long pants. I don't need a respirator.
Well, what about let's just be honest. So the farm guy, he's out there loading up the back thing, the big tank with all the Roundup in there because he's going to go do the big field. And maybe it says wear a respirator or not, but let's be honest. He's going to go jump in the cab of that tractor, close the door and think, I don't need a respirator on, right?
Right. Okay. So it depends on your job. So maybe you're the loader mixer guy. Maybe you are the applicator. Yeah. Maybe all you do is jump in. Maybe all you are is in the tractor. And also the cabs now, they have good filtration systems.
And that brings up once again, Carolyn.
In the cab.
That brings up something once again, like we talked about. Applicator guy, that's the job, right? You're just driving around the tractor. You probably got a DVD player in there, listening to your favorite band. You're having a good time. You don't have to wear a respirator. It's the guy who's got to mix it up and throw it in the tub that's risking his life. So once again, Carolyn, you've brought it up. How do you decide who gets to ride in the cab and who has to mix it up? You decide who's the most productive guy in your staff, and you take the least productive guy and make him do the mixing. Is that correct?
Well, no, I would say a lot of times that person is the same, Al. A person could be the same. Family farm, you don't have an applicator and then a loader mixer. And then we also have people that's all they do. And so it is about reading the label because we're saving you like money too if you don't have to have all that stuff.
Very good point. But back to we should pick who do we risk? And it's a risk assessment all the time on the farm, and we know that. But okay, I just want to know if you had.
It is a risk assessment for sure related to what you need to do, not related to which child.
Fair enough. And when it comes to the farm has a ton of. I look at my chemical situation at the home. I have Roundup, then I have some woodworking stuff that I do.
Right.
But that's really the end of it. Paint, if you want to call it chemicals. But farm's got a lot more stuff. I mean, there's just all kinds of chemicals at the farm.
And potential, because we actually were doing some work looking at how many pesticides or chemicals are registered in the state of Iowa. There's a little over 4,000, right? Over 4,000 registered for use. Now, that doesn't mean that people are using all of those, but there's a lot of options. That's where we're really sticklers on. Okay, when you decide which product you're going to use, make sure you read the label and follow the directions. And a respirator could be one of them. And over the Tuesday, we were teaching people about respirator fit testing because sometimes you need to do a respirator fit test, which we don't, the general farmer doesn't do. You got to find someone to help you with that.
Let me ask you this. When it comes to these chemicals, you're talking registered chemicals. Jen, thanks for knowing the number. 4,000 registered chemicals in Iowa. Well, I'm sorry. There are no farmers on their farm that know the 4,000 chemicals.
No.
Do you just trust that if you're going to the Bomb Guards or whatever store you use, that they have approved chemicals? I mean, you're not buying this thing from some guy in the back of his van at the Quick Trip, right? Saying, hey, Bob, come here.
No. So every year, pretty often, you change. Chemicals change. So you have the salespeople, you have the agronomists, you have people that's what their job is, to decide which chemical, which pesticide should you use for this particular corn, soybeans, whatever it may be. So an agronomist, they help you. Like, here, these are the ones that we're recommending for this year. And yes, they would be registered, or they wouldn't be able to sell.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. The farmer can't unless you're buying it out the back of a guy's van. You're going to buy approved. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's approved. So you don't have to worry about it being approved, but whether it's the right chemical or not, you need an agronomist to tell you that. And are they readily available? Is there agronomists by phone? Yeah. How do you get an agronomist?
There are agronomists everywhere. Absolutely. Yeah. Small town, large town, big farm, small farm.
I do not know one agronomist. Really? They're just all over out there?
We should get one. We should get one for you. We should get you an agronomist.
I would like that, because is it like an eye doctor, an optometrist? You got to set up a meeting, and it's usually 4 weeks out, and then they put drops in your eyes. How do you get a good agronomist?
Or they come to you. It's just you develop a relationship with your agronomist, and that's where you buy your seed and your product from. So it benefits them to know what you need and sell it to you. But people make their own choices too. If you've got farmers that have been in the business for a long time, they're keeping track too. They're kind of knowing what they want.
You will agree, though, having a relationship with your agronomist could cause problems back home with Mrs. Farmer, right?
Maybe the agronomist is a female. Maybe doesn't. Yeah,
I don't judge on this show, Carolyn. I do not judge on this show. I'm just saying, watch your relationships outside the fan.
You're always trying to get me in some sort of trouble. Pick the weakest link, all the things. To go buy some big semis here, we might cut out a bit. So
no.
Yeah, no, but our job is not to help the farmer pick his product. Our job is to say, read the label, help you figure out to get the right sizes of personal protective equipment. Know what you need to use to protect yourself. That's our job.
Can I throw one more thing out that I saw this week that I wanted to talk to you about really quick?
You can.
There's this English guy that shows cutting cow hooves and fixing cow hooves on the internet. It's all over X. Well, I say that once you start watching the videos, they just flood in. Have you ever seen this guy? I love these videos. I do not know why cutting cow feet is so impressive. You've seen him, Jen?
Yes.
Yes, I have a question. Is he wearing eye protection when he's trimming the cow's hooves?
Almost never, but he's always got the glove protection on, because the cow, they walk around in their own poo. You wonder why they're infected. You got to get them on some clean dirt. You like them, Jen? I love those videos. It's amazing what they can do with a cow hoof.
Yeah, and he's very good at explaining everything to a town audience.
People like
wow. Like me. Jen, you laugh. You and I could get a whole nother business going. There's pigs, there's horses, there's a lot of stuff that the rest of us don't have a clue on. And I'm watching them just doll up cow hooves, and I'm loving it. There's money to be made, Jen. Don't laugh at me. Do not make fun of us town people.
What's one of our $1 million ideas?
Yes, it is. Yeah. We just got to come up with the next thing.
I have a book. We're writing a book right now.
Well, I didn't even know they had whole machines to do it. He's got a thing to put the cow in so it holds his hoof up so he doesn't get kicked. That was a good invention. Someone made $1 million on that. We could have come up with it. We're a little late, but we'll get the next thing.
And we're worried about their safety. So if they have eye protection, we're happy.
Yep.
There we go.
Well, you never know when a piece of cow nail will fly up in the air and bite you in the butt. Got to go. We're out of time. You ladies have been fantastic. I appreciate you being on the road and doing the show for us, but we are out of time. Ag Health Safety Alliance, Carolyn, Sheridan, the gang, appreciate you being here.